Okay, let's begin the briefing. Operator Eugene Solano, I'll be keeping you up to date. We've got news that an invading LASAF squadron has just taken off from the Puna Plains, en route for an attack on our position, Aubrey Base. From their perspective, this attack is the final nail in our collective coffin. After all, this is the only base that hasn't fallen under their control. I guess we can consider ourselves lucky. It looks like the enemy has gotten a little overconfident and sent only a small attack force. Griffith Squadron, prepare for launch immediately. Fly around the mountains and avoid enemy radar. Oh, I forgot. The enemy squadron consists mainly of bombers supported by several fighters. Please protect this base and destroy the enemy bombers. If everything goes well, we should be able to get the upper hand on the enemy in this area. Alright, please prepare for launch. Let's pay back the LASAF forces with at least one defeat. One final thing. During combat, my codename will be Crux. I will keep you up to date on the battle situation, so please pay attention to your radio.
Maintain your present course. Do you see the enemy formation on your radar? Read you loud and clear. We're coming up on the enemy from behind, just like we planned. You can let the escorts go. Just make sure you take out all bombers.
We'll show them what we got. After all, we're alien pilots. Isn't that right, Captain?
Excuse me, Griffith 2. Please use code names during the mission. Understood. This new guy does everything by the book. Anything previous one? What? Hold on a second. The city's being bombed. Unbelievable. There are no military facilities in that city. The enemy. They snuck up from behind. What? Where the hell did they come from? What are you doing? You shouldn't be wasting ordnance. Relax. We're just going to bomb some base in the sticks, right? There'll be more than enough ordnance left to finish
right now. I'm willing to bet anything they got scared and ran away. I've got a reading on radar. Something's coming in at high speed. It's a missile! What? Where? Where is it? Answer me now! Eugene! The Puna Plains! The missile's coming from the Puna Plains! The Gleipnir? Hey, that better not be what I think it is. It's an SWBM! Get out of here now! What should we do? Where's it coming from? How far is it? It's no use! We're too late! Griffiths 2! Come in, Griffiths 2! Griffiths 2! Griffiths 3! Anyone!
The mission was a success. The destruction of the enemy bombers will help keep an enemy invasion of Aubrey Base at bay. However, we also suffered serious losses. There's no way anyone could ever call this mission a success. I'm sorry. I couldn't do anything to save them. So that's the super weapon LASAP used to take over all of Aurelia in only 10 days. Who could have imagined that they possessed such destructive power?
Let this be a symbol of the fury borne by our countrymen towards Aurelia.
Such was the impassioned speech of LASATH's commander Diego Gaspar Navarro, as images of the Aurelian squadron's destruction over Cape Aubrey played in the background. A day later, his gravelly voice continued to echo through my hungover brain. October. 1 year after the cessation of the Democratic Republic of LASATH's civil war. After the Civil War, LASATH began to set their sights on their peaceful neighbor, the Federal Republic of Aurelia, claiming retribution for years of exploitation. The invasion suddenly began. With the ever-present threat of the cloaked airborne fortress Gleipnir looming overhead, there was little time to react to the few concerns raised about the validity of the war. Such was the speed at which all of Aurelia fell under LASATH's control. Well, not everything has fallen into their hands, but it's only a matter of time. Looking out over the capital, Gaius Tower is both home to LASATH's Central Command and the very symbol of its power. It was originally intended to be a symbol of Aurelia's peace. How ironic. As I looked up at the sun traveling the same old path across the sky, the rays burned my tired eyes. Damn it. Just wish I could finish covering this completely one-sided war and head back home. I'll never get used to being in the southern hemisphere with its backwards seasons.
The Gleipnir was last confirmed heading southeast across the Puna Plains. However, we lost all trace of it shortly after. Unfortunately, Aurelia's information network can provide no further details at this time. We'll just have to take what we can get. The airborne fortress Gleipnir nearly wiped out our entire attack force. Even with you, sir, our remaining aerial attack strength is severely limited. We no longer have the necessary manpower or supplies to pursue Gleipnir. In addition, there are reports of enemy forces gathering at Port Patterson. If we don't move soon, it will only be a matter of time before they attack from behind. Given the situation, we are left with only one plan of attack. On the Puna Plains lying between Aubrey Base and Port Patterson, Laysath forces have hastily constructed a resupply base to house the large quantity of supplies needed to support their troops. Attack Puna Base. Destroy all park bombers and base facilities. Take away the enemy's ability to fight. If you succeed, we'll gain an important foothold for an attack on Port Patterson. And what's more, we'll gain the supplies we need to win this fight. Unless we succeed in taking this base, that's it for our supplies. Please don't fail, sir.
was a success.
Retreating LASAF forces have abandoned Puna Base. The base, including all provisions stored there, now belong to us. Now we'll be able to provide backup support for our troops. The battle to retake Port Patterson is about to begin. Our scattered forces have come together for this battle. They're few in number, but we've managed to assemble a small ground force. However, the LASAF fleet continues to gather in Port Patterson, and the presence of the Transportation Corps has also been confirmed. Having lost Puna Base, it appears LASAF now intends to shuttle in troops and supplies overseas. If any more ships dock at Port Patterson, enemy strength will become more than our ground troops can handle. In order to prevent this, we need you to launch a preliminary strike on Port Patterson. Destroy all enemy supply vessels, landing ships, and freighters. In particular, try to keep as many enemy landing ships from entering the port as possible. Battle supplies must not reach the enemy. The number of enemy landing ships inside the port will be displayed on the MPG in the upper right-hand corner of your HUD. If the MPG reaches the max level, our forces will no longer be able to retake Port Patterson. This time, a substantial enemy counterattack is to be expected. It seems the loss of Puna Base has put them on guard. Please be careful.
Griffith 1, you are cleared for takeoff. Griffith 1, altitude restrictions canceled. Return to your mission. Good luck. Clock To Griffith 1. Check your MPG on the right side of the HUD. The MPG will display the number of landing ships from the port. Please pay careful attention to the MPG during this mission. So, you're Griffith 1, huh? I'm Major Bertman, Ground Force Commander. There are landing ships within the enemy fleet. We'll lose the battle if a battalion is allowed to make it ashore. Do not allow more than 3 landing ships to enter the port. We'll be risking our necks out here with you. Let's take back Port Patterson. Huh? Wait, I've got something on radar. Put the city on high alert. I don't want to see so much as a kitten out on those streets. Just make sure that bridge is raised.
We've succeeded in destroying the enemy fleet gathered in Port Patterson. Our ground troops scored a major victory by using the chaos caused by our attack to storm in and secure the port. We freed Port Patterson from the hands of the enemy. It's still kind of hard to believe.
The emblem of the Southern Cross. It was on that very day that the aircraft bearing the mark of the Southern Hemisphere brought about the defeat of Laysath forces. But the story barely made the news, and the army showed no apparent reaction. Almost nightly, Laysath's commanding officer, Diego Gaspar Navarro, plays host to grand banquets within Gaius Tower. This evening, he is once again proudly trumpeting the glory of his airborne fortress. I've heard the speech so many times, it feels like I wrote it. Which, in a way, is a good thing, because it lets me concentrate on enjoying the food instead. As I gazed out the window at the night sky, I felt as if even the phases of the moon were somehow at odds with those of the Northern Hemisphere. The words of a fellow reporter, who fancied himself a connoisseur of fine wine, really got me thinking about the price of the glass of wine in my hand. One glass of it is roughly equivalent to several years of a Laysathian citizen's salary. Haven't the long years of civil war left Laysath an impoverished and war-torn nation? Whatever the case, much is unclear about the flow of money in Laysath. Ever since I arrived here, I've only covered stories the military had approved. However, this particular mystery just might be worth investigating on my own. The idea was nothing more than the product of an idle mind. At least at the time.
Okay, let's get started with a report of the situation. I think our best option under the circumstances would be to head towards Santa Elva. Santa Elva is a strategic location that we have to pass through to get to the capital, Griswold. However, there are several other strategic points on the way to Santa Elva. Which points you choose and in what order you do so is up to you. It looks like your decisions will affect the course of this battle. I know it's an immense responsibility, but there's no one else to count on. We're relying on you to get us through this. It appears that the enemy's Miller unit is gathering at Kings Hill. It looks like they're trying to take back Port Patterson. I wonder what they're up to. Next, we have reports that the Allied Davis unit is cut off at Stand Canyon. Gleipnir took off from Puna Base and is currently standing by at Terminus Island. With the long strike range of the Gleipnir, there's not much our forces can do. It appears that the enemy is moving towards Stand Canyon to eliminate our remaining forces. We'll need those remaining forces in our attack on Santa Elva, so I think we should probably send help. If left alone, they'll be helpless against the aerial fortress. just like what happened to us at Cape Aubrey. Also, Santa Elva is a key location for the enemy, and I think they'll concentrate their forces there. We'll have major problems if they send in their aerial fortress. I'll give you more details once you decide on a route. Please tell me which route you plan to take. Allied ground forces are stranded at Stan Canyon. There are members of the Davis unit who were en route to an assault on Santa Elva when they were cut off from the main force. The Santa Elva offensive could use their support, and we can hardly leave them for dead. However, LASAF has already begun mobilizing a search and destroy operation. It's only a matter of time before the Davis unit is wiped out. I think we should launch a strike now and save as many of our troops as we can. Although the area of attack is within range of Gleipnir's SWBM, the very same weapon that devastated our squadron. By implementing shielding and flying low through the canyon, it should be possible to avoid an attack by the SWBM. In the event that Gleipnir should attack, stay below the rim of the canyon, or less than 2,400 feet.
This is the Davis unit. Is backup on its way? Griffith Squadron is on the way right now. Try your best to hold out until they arrive. Understood. No problem. We can still put up a fight. Casualties to the Davis unit will be displayed on your MPC. The Davis unit will be defeated when the gauge reaches max.
Here they come! Prepare to fire!
The canyon narrows near the bridge. Please be careful. Keep the enemy attack helicopters away from the Allied ground forces. They don't stand a chance against the enemy's anti-tank missiles.
Show what we're made of!
Enemy aircraft sighted. Likely the backup for the ground forces.
Don't sweat it! We've got the Glacier covering us!
Your altitude is too low. Pull up.
Let's do this! Go!
This is the Davis unit. The enemy is converging on our position. Please, hurry!
They're right above me!
They've come! Help has come! Airborne Fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 20 seconds. Stay below 2,400 feet. Hurry! Walk on! The sudden cross was able to fly a fighter through this narrow space? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Is everything alright? You're still airborne, right? I'm sorry. I just can't get the events of the previous SWBM attack out of my head.
Your altitude is too low. Pull up.
Enemy attack! Return fire!
He took care of the enemy in no time!
Stop at all costs! Don't let them into Santa Elva!
Can you make out the enemy base? This place see them. Point intercept. Davis unit casualties at 50%. Davis unit, hang in there. Immobilize the enemy. Here they come. Prepare to fire. Airborne fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds. Enemy attack! Return fire! Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Stay inside the canyon or you'll get hit by the shockwave! You'd be a fool to be shot down by your own weapon!
Central weapons fire running low.
Airborne fortress missile launched.
Your altitude is too low. Pull up.
Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds. Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Destruction of target confirmed. Commencing evacuation of Davis unit.
We've succeeded in rescuing the Davis unit from the enemy onslaught. The men express their gratitude for rescuing them, sir. This victory has also allowed us to begin formalizing a strategy for the recapture of Santa Elva. We have an emergency situation. The Miller unit has moved from Kings Hill for an assault on Port Patterson. They reclaim the city almost immediately. We've also confirmed the transport of supplies from the port to Santa Elva via Kings Hill. I had no idea this was in their plan. Sorry about that. On with the update. The Gleipnir has moved from Terminus Island to Santa Elva. They are making preparations to defend the city as we speak. With the loss of Stan Canyon, defending Santa Elva probably took priority over using the SWBM to support their troops.
You
Intelligence reports that LASEF forces are airlifting munitions from Port Patterson to Santa Elva. We think the munitions are for the airborne fortress Gleipnir. At this moment, there is no information on the enemy transport corps formation. Regardless, the mission will be considered a failure if even one of the enemy transport planes escapes out of the combat zone. Destroying all transport planes before that happens will be the main focus of this mission. How do you want to proceed, sir? Port Patterson has been taken by enemy forces and our supply route cut off. There isn't enough fuel to support an extended mission, so make it quick.
Something's wrong. Griffith 1, does something seem amiss? There are just too many transport aircraft. Decoy aircraft are probably mixed in with the formation. We can't confirm which one is the target. Try to find the real one and shoot it down. The target won't get away if you don't focus your attack. It's likely that there's only one target transport in each formation. Take a good look. Is there anything different? Perhaps in the way they fly? Enemy aircraft! Was there a leak? Keep us protected. We've got precious cargo on board. This is the ground unit. We've secured the down transport. It looks like you've got the real target. We'll carry on from here. What are you doing? Increase your altitude. Keep all the enemies busy with the decoys. Can't we fly any higher? There are too many of them. Which one is the real thing? Heavy cargo will make it difficult for transport to maintain a steady altitude. Look in the formation for an aircraft with a lower altitude and take it out. All right, I dodged it. Missile defeated.
We've succeeded in shooting down all enemy transport aircraft bound for Santa Elva. This should prevent the enemy from gaining any new ground for a while. Future missions are sure to be less dangerous thanks to your efforts. Let's hope this victory helps make our future battles a little easier, too. LASAP's Miller unit has taken control of Port Patterson. Your mission is to take it back. Reports say that the enemy unit swooped in on Port Patterson from Kings Hill, completely overtaking our forces stationed there. We should have paid more attention to the enemy's movements. This position must be retaken as soon as possible. Port Patterson is an important refueling station. Without access to fuel, our forces won't be able to carry on the battle much longer. Intelligence confirms that the Miller unit plans to use the port complex to shield themselves from our attack. We need to clear them out, but attacking with indiscretion will only result in damage to the facilities. Without the facilities intact, Port Patterson is useless. Use utmost discretion in capturing the port.
Damage to the port complex will be displayed on your MPG. Aim your attacks carefully. We want to avoid damaging the complex where possible. Southern Cross fighter. We'll be safe as long as we stay hidden within the complex. This time he's mine. Come on. And if you think you're good enough to hit me, if this base is destroyed, it's your loss. Target hit. than as planned. Sam destroyed. He attacked by weaving his way through openings in the complex. There's no point in trying to hide. Unbelievable. His aim is amazing. I didn't know we still had that kind of pilot left. All right, Griffith won! Help me! He's right behind me!
We've succeeded in ousting the Miller unit hiding within the port complex and have once again taken control of Port Patterson. This should also relieve some of the stress on our fuel reserves. Luckily, the city survived the assault with surprisingly little damage. Still, the ferocity of the enemy counterattack was completely unexpected. The enemy can take back a point as soon as you turn your back. We'll have to be more cautious of the enemy's strategy from now on. Terminus Island is home to both vital Aurelian oil fields and the Gleipnir's hangar. Intelligence has informed us that an Aurelian scientist is being held captive within this facility. It's highly likely that he has obtained invaluable information on the Gleipnir, and more importantly, he is a fellow Aurelian who must be rescued. The Allied submarine Naiad will be used in his rescue. In order to draw the enemy's attention from the Naiad, the Allied fleet will engage in a diversionary operation. Our duty will be to protect the fleet. The enemy is expected to launch anti-submarine aircraft. Although our main objective is to protect the diversionary fleet, we must also ensure the safety of the Naiad. If you confront any anti-submarine aircraft, take them out as soon as possible.
We will be approaching the target shortly. Make sure to draw the enemy's attention your way. This is the cruiser to Arthur. Understood. We'll make sure they know we're here. Fire to the left. We read you loud and clear. Crux to Griffith 1. Damage to the Allied fleet will be displayed on the MPG. The Naiad will likely be discovered if the diversionary fleet has to pull out. Make sure they survive this mission. Evasive maneuver successful.
system and rudder are out! Controls are barely responding! We're surfacing! The Naiad has surfaced!
Of all the times! We're getting new readings on radar. A large number of aircraft have taken off from a nearby enemy base. Naiad! Maintain your present course! You've got to make it out of there! It's no use! An iceberg is blocking their path! All pilots,
The mission was a success. The Naiad has returned to port safe and sound. Thanks to the recon data from the Naiad, we've started to make some sense of the Gleipnir stealth system. It'll take some time to fully analyze the data, but it looks like there might be a way to partially shut down the stealth system. This information may help us gain the upper hand in our battle against the Gleipnir. Allied ground forces have finished preparations for an assault on Santa Elva. They're the same troops we rescued from Stand Canyon. The mission will be to recapture Santa Elva, a vital transportation route. If we succeed in retaking the city, our capital Griswold will be within reach. Analysis of the SWBM attack at Cape Aubrey has shown that the shockwave of the missile dissipates before reaching ground level. Therefore, an assault by our ground forces has a much higher probability of succeeding. The mission can commence at any time. The Gleipnir has troubled Aurelia long enough. The time has come to drive it out.
Griffith 1, you are cleared for takeoff. Griffith 1, altitude restrictions canceled. Return to your mission. Good luck.
This is reconnaissance. Something's wrong. The enemy is nowhere to be found. No sign of the Gleipnir. Nothing? That's impossible. Damn, Layseth. What are they up to? What's that sound? Look! It's the Gleipnir! Don't just stand there! Attack! Target the Gleipnir! Go ahead, cannon fire! Hit it with everything we've got! The SWBM can't reach us here, but watch out for conventional ordnance. Look! The disc on the bottom is starting to blow! What's he doing? The vehicles below the Gleipnir were just vaporized. What on earth is that? That's the Gleipnir!
Our ground forces are strong enough to handle it on their own? I don't think so. I can't believe they've made such a terrifying weapon. Sir, Griffith 1, it appears the enemy has some kind of new super weapon. If the Allied ground forces are defeated, we won't be able to maintain our military presence. Casualties to the Allied ground forces will be displayed on your MPG. Protect them and keep the gauge from reaching max. All ground forces have withdrawn from Santa Elva.
Understood. Now we can destroy those Aurelians with our heater cannon.
It's too dangerous below the Great Pier. Change altitude as soon as you see any sign that it's about to fire. It disappeared! I lost sight of it again! Optical camouflage system critical! The system won't hold! Alright! Your current load!
We're sitting ducks up here. Can't somebody do something?
It's no use!
Damn it. It's time to use an SWBM. I don't care if we sustain a little damage. I want that Southern Cross blown out of the sky.
Roger, SWBM standing by! They'll be ready to launch shortly!
Beth, it's time you met your maker.
Help me! He's right behind me! The Great Pier is delivering the SWBM! We think it's the same as the one used at Cape Audrey! It's too dangerous to fly at high altitude. Try to stay lower than the Great Pier! Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Airborne Fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds. Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Airborne Fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds. Good too. Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Enemy aircraft destroyed. Airborne Fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds. Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Airborne Fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds. Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Airborne Fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds.
Aircraft warning.
Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, impact! Airborne Fortress missile launched. Estimated time to impact, 15 seconds. Estimated time to impact, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, The airborne fortress is changing course. It's descending towards the city. Oh no! They intend to use the shot cannon on the city! Griffith 1, countdown to shot cannon fire will be displayed on your MPG. Destroy the shot cannon before it fires. All surviving ground forces, head for the riverbank! We're gonna fill that beast full of lead! The lives of thousands are at stake. You must destroy the cannon. The airborne fortress is 10 miles from the city. It's no good! Even from behind, I can't seem to get a straight shot! Miles to the city. The glacier is finished.
The glacier has changed course and is moving away from the capital. The controls won't respond. Come on, just a little more. If we can hold together long enough. Please crash into the river. There are too many civilians here in Santa Elva. I will deliver one final blow to the enemy as commander of the Gleipnir. Am I to be denied even that? We did it. The Gleipnir's falling. The Gleipnir is crashing!
We've succeeded in destroying the Gleipnir, as well as taking back Santa Elva. The Santa Elva victory is fantastic news. But even more so, the defeat of the Gleipnir is sure to boost morale and give us a strategic advantage in this war. Luck was certainly on our side though. With all of that raining debris, it's amazing the city sustained so little damage.
Unthinkable! The chatter of the nightly parties fell into silence. In place of the sumptuous banquet, weapons to protect the capital were rolled in. Griswold is in turmoil over the shocking news, but who would have thought that underneath the chaos lay an even greater story? Aurelia's exploitation of Leysath was all a ruse. In fact, Aurelia had been Leysath's largest benefactor in aid. The truth remained hidden from the public, while any aid meant for food was spent on arms. Why did this happen? Why was a lavish party held to boast the performance of their newest weapon? The trail of money surrounding Diego Navarro would lead me to the answer. Diego Navarro is not only Leysath's commanding officer, but also controls their arms industry. He has used continued conflict as a means to amass an enormous fortune. This war was conceived as a replacement for the Civil War to further increase arms sales. I can't help but wonder how much of this truth the soldiers risking their lives for Leysath really know. The classified documents contained much more than just information on the airborne fortress. The transfer of financial revenue and commodities were also recorded in great detail. What does all of this have to do with Leysath's commanding officer Diego Navarro? Even after all that's happened, why does he still seem so naturally at ease? I've unwittingly found myself fearing for the safety of the Southern Cross.
Alright, let me brief you on the main locations on the route to Griswold. Sir, please choose a route. First, remnant enemy soldiers are regrouping at the Kalana Steps and are planning an attack on Santa Elva. They currently aren't a threat, but we're curious as to what they're planning. I guess we're not much different from them in size or strength. The enemy Special Forces Skilla unit has set up camp at Sachana Air Base. They're not a squad you want to take on directly, but they're currently busy preparing to send reinforcements to the Kalana Steps. This might be the perfect time to catch them off guard. It appears that LASAF forces are shipping supplies to a large-scale manufacturing plant in Montebriz. It seems that they're manufacturing something, but there is a large radar facility close by on Mount Nevera. The Nevera jammer is located there, and we're unable to monitor their movements. The jamming extends as far as Griswold, so we need to do something about it. Although we really need to find out what's going on at Montebriz as well. Our capital is not far ahead. However, Griswold is heavily fortified and protected by the Mezim cannon. Fierce resistance is expected, but we must pull together and take back Griswold. We have obtained information that enemy stragglers from Santa Elva are gathering on the Kalana Steps. Unless we move now, we risk the enemy launching another incursion on Santa Elva. It appears that they are also expecting reinforcements and supplies from the Sachana Air Base to the northeast. If the remnant forces and the reinforcements are allowed to regroup, they could pose a problem. We need to attack now, while they are defenseless, and take them out of the battle for good.
The target enemy destruction ratio will be displayed on your MPG. Continue to destroy enemy targets until the number reaches 0. What a desolate place. Just wait a little longer. Reinforcements will be here before long with fresh supplies. Then we should be able to stick it to those Aurelians again! Damn it, I'm not gonna die here! The enemy aircraft! The Southern Cross! Isn't that the guy that destroyed the Glacier? Nemesis. So you've just been waiting until now to strike.
Your altitude is too low. Pull up.
Evasive maneuver successful. Our helicopters don't stand a chance against their fighters. Damn.
altitude is too low. Pull up.
Tanks are in the way! Stop messing around! We need to get to the main unit! I'm hit! I'm going down! Forget about the counterattack. Concentrate on staying alive.
The concentration of enemy troops on the Kalana steppes has been eliminated, allowing us to concentrate on Santa Elva. We can now freely continue our advance without having to constantly watch our flank. I apologize for letting enemy reinforcements get the drop on you. I should have been paying more attention to their movements. It won't happen again. That is all. The Skilla unit has left Sachana Air Base for Mount Nevera. Unfortunately, radar interference has prevented us from pinpointing their exact location. But we believe they have abandoned the Kalana steppes to protect the Nevera jammer. In order to ensure our bid to capture the capital is a success, we need to first take back Sachana Air Base. Sachana Air Base is our country's largest air base. The enemy incurred heavy losses during the previous battle at Kalana Steppes, resulting in a near-complete loss of air power in this area. However, enemy ground troops have already begun to form a formidable intercept force in their stead. The surrounding woods would put our ground troops at a distinct disadvantage, so a helicopter unit will be used to carry them in. Your mission, sir, will be to protect the helicopter unit until they can safely land at the target. Intelligence reports that enemy troops trained in guerrilla warfare and familiar with the terrain are holding this point. Infrared sensors have been attached to the HUD to help locate enemies hiding in the forest. The heat signature from an enemy's weapon will appear on the HUD whenever they fire. Use this chance to lock onto the target. Draw enemy fire and take out as many enemy positions as possible to ensure the safety of the helicopter unit.
So you're the famous Griffith Squadron. I've heard the stories. We're counting on you. All right, we're just going to concentrate on making it to the base. We won't be able to handle the enemies hiding in the forest, so we're leaving them up to you. Damage to the helicopter unit will be displayed on the MPG. Keep an eye on it. We won't be able to take the base without them, so make sure they get there intact. Outpost A. Enemy helicopter unit and escort squadron have just passed overhead. Aim for the lead escort aircraft. Take them out and the rest will drop like flies. Change position as soon as you fire. Don't let them get a beat on you. Griffith 1, begin landing checks. You're cleared to land. To touchdown. Two miles to touchdown. One mile to touchdown. You're on the money. Perfect, sir. Stand by and prepare for your next sortie.
The helicopter unit has brought Sachana Air Base under their control. The mission is a success. Air power from the base will be a vital asset, especially in the battle to retake Griswold. I have the feeling the day of our capital's liberation is not far off. A recon team has infiltrated Monte Breeze and uncovered suspect enemy movement. It appears that LASAF used several of the large industrial complexes scattered throughout the area to produce some type of weapon. Unfortunately, jamming from Mount Nevra is preventing us from gathering any further details. The presence of numerous transport aircraft, however, has led us to believe that whatever the cargo is, they plan on taking it to Griswold. There isn't enough time to prevent the transport aircraft from taking off, but we should be able to utilize their radar jamming to shield our approach. If the enemy succeeds in escaping from the combat zone, we won't be able to follow. A lightning strike before they have time to react should prevent their escape. However, enemy jamming will render both radar and radio useless during the operation. Instead, Recon has made arrangements to transmit the position of the transport aircraft via infrared. Your mission is to work with the Recon unit to track and shoot down all transport aircraft. The mission will be considered a failure if any escape. We don't know what cargo is stowed within the transports, but there can be no doubt that it doesn't bode well for us.
Unit, so you're the one and only Southern Cross. We're counting on you. Are you picking up the infrared signal? We're clear of jamming here. We can't transmit past 30 miles, but there shouldn't be any problems at this distance. The number of enemy transports is being transmitted to your HUD. Don't let any escape. Radar jamming will prevent you from locking onto targets, so you'll have to use your sights when firing. Stay relaxed and you can do it. This is the Northeast Jaguar unit. We've arrived on point. Transmission is a go. Southeast Puma unit, we've also arrived on point. It looks like the enemy's finally onto us. The transport has started to flee. Control tower, come in. This is the transport core. Anyone know your destination? Orders for departure is negative. Hold your position. Stand by. You must be joking. Our transport can't stand by. Help me! He's right behind me! Are there really enemies inbound? How many? From what direction? Another transport's been shot down. What the hell are they waiting for? We've had departure clearance. Control tower! Control tower! Do you read? Gary, I'm not so sure this jamming was a good idea. Command Greatest 1. This is the Northeast Jaguar unit. Enemy transport is nearing the river. Can you make it over this way? This is the Southeast Puma unit. Purpose 1, we have a visual confirmation of the target. Going either way. I can just barely make it out, but it's getting closer by the minute. Break it up! Control tower, we're leaving here now. Destination Griswold, right? Destination Griswold. Departure authorized. Understood. We've got authorization from command. All transports fan out and head for Griswold. We'll be an easy target if we stay grouped together. We can't let them talk. Prepare the device. Inform the owners. Command Greatest 1. This is the Northeast Jaguar unit. Visual confirmation of the transport. It's flying towards the river. Please head it off. This is the Southeast Puma unit. Purpose 1, we have a visual confirmation of the target. The transport is approaching the lake. Enemy up ahead! Alright, I dodged it! This is the Southeast Puma unit. The transport is directly overhead. Please hurry. It'll fly past the lake soon. What the hell was that? Be careful. They got one hell of a weapon stashed on board. Evading! This is the Southeast Puma unit. The transport is out of this. You got every last one of them. You're just as good as they say. You can count me as one of your fans. This is the Seagull unit. Our troops are blown away by your skills. This is the Puma unit. The mission was a success. You did it. Yeah!
All transport aircraft that took off from Monte Breeze have been destroyed. They were trying to escape with MBSRs. Apparently, they were used to intensify the meson cannon's beam. It gives me chills just to think about what might have happened had those things been delivered. LASAF has taken advantage of Mount Nevera's height and built a large-scale jamming station known as the Nevera Jammer, with enough power to effectively blanket the capital and all surrounding areas. Responsibility for taking care of the jamming station before it further interferes with the war effort has fallen into our hands. An array of high-performance SAMs and AA guns provide the Nevera Jammer with a formidable defense. The high-performance SAMs are difficult to avoid, even for the most advanced aircraft. You're done for the second you fly within range. ECM pods are of no use here either. The high-performance AA guns are also capable of shooting bombs and even long-range missiles out of the sky. We must first deal with this threat before we can move in for an attack on the jamming facility itself. Therefore, we must destroy the electric power transmitter that is providing them with energy. The location of this transmitter remains unknown, but a string of old power lines on Mount Nevera may just point the way. There is one complication. Intelligence reports that the elite Skilla unit is stationed here. Stay alert and don't let them catch you off guard. The transmitter's power output will be displayed on your HUD. Make sure the power output is at 0 before moving in to attack the jammer.
Pilots, check your plane and prepare for refueling. 1 mile to refueling craft. Yards to go. Yards to go. 50 yards to go. Griffith 1, maintain your current flight path. Perfect, sir. Commencing refueling.
We've destroyed the Nevera jammer and freed up the airwaves. Now we have a clear view of Griswold. Sir, let's end this war. We've succeeded in ending radar interference from Mount Nevera. We are now better prepared for an assault on Griswold. Our mission is the liberation of Griswold. I'll explain the details. Griswold is protected by the meson cannon. The cannon would have posed a much greater threat had LASAP succeeded in delivering the MBSRs. Thanks to your efforts in stopping their delivery, our ground forces should be able to approach the capital unhindered. If Allied forces are able to make their way to the center of the Atmos Ring and into Gaia's Tower, they will be able to take control of the enemy central command and free the city. It will be our duty to support the troops from above. LASAP's army is prepared for us. We expect this to be a fierce battle for both sides. Although the energy output of the meson cannon is unstable, it can still inflict considerable damage to any Allied units caught within firing range. The more damage we inflict to the meson cannon, the easier it will be for our troops to take the city. The capital's liberation is finally within our grasp. Sir, please decide the course of action.
We've made it this far, sir. I can make them out now. The Atmos Ring and the Gaia's Tower. Makes me sick. Look at them, acting like they own the place. Act 2, get back in formation. We finally made it to the capital. Let's blast those LASAF bastards out. Wait, I'm getting readings from the meson cannon. Even without the MBSRs, the meson cannon is extremely powerful. Stay sharp up there.
Casualties to the Allied forces will be displayed on your MPG. We won't have the manpower to take the capital if casualties are too high. Try to keep them at a minimum. So, you're the cutting horse? It's an honor to fly with you. Evasive maneuver successful. All right, I dodged it. I'll take care of him. Which one's the nemesis? You took to their best pilot. That's him. too much time on him. What flying? He's even better than I heard. I didn't think he was this good. Help me! He's right behind me! Ground forces here! The enemy is already at the gate! They're gonna break through! We can't hold them back! Ground forces to Griffith 1. We've made it inside the Atlas ring. Look, it's Gaia's tower. The enemy's central command. We take the tower as this war's over. What? Dang! Don't let them get any closer! Defend the tower! Clark to Griffith Squadron. Enemy reinforcements are in the city center. It looks like they've been keeping some in reserve. So many troops were just lying in wait. Don't kick it out now! Enemy command is right in front of us! Allied troops inside Atlas Ring are pinned down by an enemy counteroffensive. Griffith 1, go to their aid. Evasive maneuver successful. Missile defeated. I can't get him off me! Push it up! Fly faster! This is Victor Regiment to all ground forces. We're at the base of Gaia's tower, commencing assault.
This is Victor Regiment. I've got bad news. It's the enemy command. They are gone without a trace. It's too bad because I would have really loved to slug them one. So that means... That's right. We've secured Gaia's tower. We've driven those lace-ass bastards out! We did it! Gaia's tower is back in our hands! Griffith 1, sir. Did you hear that, sir? We did it. We freed Griswold. All right.
Griswold's been liberated. With the loss of their central command, LASAF forces have begun to pull out of Aurelia. The streets of Griswold are overflowing with citizens celebrating the defeat of the LASAF oppressors. Even soldiers have joined in the celebration. Sir, the people won't soon forget your brave actions that led us here. We've done it, sir.
With each passing day, news of new Aurelian victories came pouring in. The Southern Cross's action spurred the surviving Aurelian troops to battle. Commanding Officer Diego Navarro has retreated and is currently being pursued by Special Forces. No one would have guessed that a ragtag band of soldiers smaller than a single unit could have put up such fierce resistance. December 10th, several days after the liberation of Griswold, I made my way towards one of the mini-cities busy recovering from the ravages of the war. Despite my usual misgivings, I could feel myself getting excited at the prospect of meeting the Southern Cross. But when I reached the base, I saw his emblem already gleaming in the skies above. I had heard that today was their first break in a while, but something must have changed that. I merely watched as the jet's contrail stretched far off into the distant sky. Suddenly, I was overcome by a strong sense of dread. The misappropriated financial and material resources were on a scale much greater than the airborne fortress alone could account for. Would the weapon at Griswold prove to be the missing piece to the puzzle?
I have an updated situation report. The forces hunting Laysath Commander Diego Navarro have been decimated at the Danern Straits. It appears that Laysath has developed a new type of attack aircraft. I can't believe they had a working prototype from the aerial fortress. Sorry, back to the report. The new attack aircraft is named Fenrir, according to Laysath reports. From the satellite intel gathered, it appears that the aircraft took off from Sentry Island. We received information from intelligence services that there appears to be a factory on the island. There are two routes to Sentry Island. First, Laysath has a squadron of ace pilots, the Alec Squadron, situated near the Danern Straits. They are currently headed for Sentry Island. If a pilot of that caliber were to pilot the new craft, we would have a lot of trouble on our hands. Another route is Cobalt Cave, the location of enemy research facilities. It is believed that they are preparing to move some sort of weapon. We don't know the details, but it is most likely a weapon to mount to Fenrir. The ace pilots and the unknown weapon are both major concerns, but we can only deal with one of these threats. You must stop whatever Laysath has planned. You are about to enter Laysath territory. We don't have much intel to go on, but you need to decide how to proceed. Intelligence has confirmed the outline of a squadron of Laysath fighters bound for Archelon Fortress. A sympathizer from within the enemy has informed us that the squadron is none other than Laysath's elite, Alec Squadron. If they were to capture Archelon Fortress's Fenrir, one can only imagine the devastation they would cause. The Danern Straits could provide us with a chance to intercept them before they reach the fortress. Your mission will be to take on this elite air unit. You must destroy them all.
fighters coming in head-on. You should see an enemy squadron shortly. This is Falcon 1. I was wanting to fly with you. My son's a big fan of yours. Well, me too. Enemies come. There's so many of them. In the 10 years I've been flying, I've never been in such a massive dogfight. Listen up, everybody. Don't fall behind the Southern Cross. pulling in too fast. Slow down. 1 mile to refueling craft. Yards to go. Yards to go. 50 yards to go. Griffith 1, maintain your current flight path. Nicely done, sir. Commencing refueling.
We've succeeded in stopping the Alec unit before they could reach Archelon Fortress. It was an extremely dangerous mission, but we had to stop them from getting behind the controls of Fenrir. This was a very important victory for us. Great work. The enemy transportation corps has moved from Cobalt Cave to Archelon Fortress. Our sources have confirmed our suspicions that the cargo was indeed an HPM. It'll most likely be used to defend Archelon Fortress. The new weapon under development at Cobalt Cave has been relocated to Archelon Fortress. We have learned that it's an HPM to be mounted to Fenrir. The weapon's targeting system relies on orbiting satellites, so we should be able to reduce the weapon's accuracy by disabling the satellite ground control center at Cobalt Cave. With the bulk of the enemy forces shifted to Archelon Fortress, the enemy poses little threat at Cobalt Cave. However, with the threat that Fenrir poses, we must take this opportunity to minimize its capabilities. Destroy all of the satellite antennas at Cobalt Cave.
On top of the island are satellite control antennas. You're going to have to destroy each and every one of them. away from the antennas. If the antennas are destroyed, the new weapon's performance will suffer. Show them what our anti-aircraft defenses are capable of. Enemy approaching from starboard side. fly all the way in here? What's with this guy? The submarine Proteus has been sunk! The submarine Triton hit. Damage critical. It's no good. We're taking on water. Withdraw from the area. Hey, the Southern Cross is flowing to that kid. Destruction of control facility confirmed. To fly through that small space and still successfully complete the mission. Amazing! That was incredible, sir. I mean, Griffith 1.
All satellite control centers and antennas have been destroyed. This should weaken Fenrir's microwave weapon. Archelon Fortress is the final obstacle standing between us and total victory, sir. We've advanced within striking distance of Archelon Fortress. Fenrir, the whole reason they started this war is being made right here on this base. It's our duty to wipe this base clear off the map. The HPM has been transported to Archelon Fortress from Cobalt Cave, and it appears it has already been fitted to Fenrir. The weapon works by emitting microwaves from both Fenrir and Archelon Fortress to create an overlapping field effect, detonating all fuel caught in between. Fly too slow for too long, and you'll be tracked by the targeting system. If you don't escape quickly, your fuel tank will explode. Thankfully, the targeting system has been impaired by the destruction of the satellite targeting facility at Cobalt Cave. Even with the targeting system impaired, the HPM still poses a threat. Be careful. We've also received intel that the Archelon Fortress is equipped with the same type of shock cannon employed on the Gleipnir. Sir, we've succeeded in freeing Aurelia. The war should have already been over for us. But someone has to put an end to this. Just make sure you come back alive.
As I wrote down the words that would reveal the truth to the world, I couldn't help but feel uneasy. It said that the only true winners in any war are those who achieve what they intended. Diego Navarro had left Aurelia's capital in defeat, yet his goal of increasing arms exports had been achieved. It seemed as though he may be the true victor in this war. After returning to his homeland, it appears that he now plans to unveil the ultimate weapon before his countrymen. Satellite images of the Archelon Fortress will provide the backdrop for his speech to the world. Such audacity must come from his confidence in this ultimate weapon, Fenrir. There's no such thing as a foolproof plan, I whispered to myself as I watched the sun slowly wheel across the sky overhead. Even the country's hero, still in the heat of battle, hadn't returned home for the celebration of victory. The Southern Cross will ensure Navarro's plan ends in failure. Ain't that right?
To all aircraft, this is likely to be our final sortie. Our mission will be to wipe
4, 3, 2, 1. Cannon firing! Watch out! This cannon's firing time is shorter than the airborne fortresses.
The fortress has really been destroyed! He was able to fly his way through those shockwaves. Incredible! You've done it, Griffiths 1! I knew our ace could do it. That's the Southern Cross for you. It certainly is. He's Aurealia's hero after all.
Crux to Griffiths 1. That was a little too risky, sir. It made me nervous just watching you. It wouldn't feel like a victory if you weren't there to celebrate it with us, sir. When you think about it, you can't help but feel sorry for Laysath's soldiers. They were nothing but pawns in Navarro's sick game. Well, it's finally over, isn't it? Let's head home. To Aurelia.
Archelon and Diego Navarro's beloved weapon Fenrir were ripped by explosions and engulfed in flames. While these images flashed on the screen, the eyes of the press watched as the enraged citizens of Laysath stormed in on commanding officer Diego Navarro. When the rage of the thousands had finally subsided, it is said that there was nothing left but the shattered remains of Fenrir. It's ironic that the stage for the unveiling of his greatest triumph would be his ultimate undoing. When it was all over, I tried to get an interview with the Southern Cross, only to find that he had already returned to Cape Aubrey.
He said he's never really liked hot weather.
Eugene Solano, the young radio operator, answered sheepishly. Peace had returned to Griswold, and it was now covered in the colors of the Christmas season. I went ahead and bought myself a figure of Santa, the kind that I could only find here.
Albert, I thought you couldn't stand the Southern Hemisphere.
A fellow reporter said to me as he saw the Santa figure, a memento of this Southern Hemisphere of backward seasons. I like the design, I said as I embarrassingly showed it to him. It bore the emblem of the Southern Cross.
Thank you.